Ah, waiting everybody. Oh my God. Oh my God. Dun, dun, dun. What am I doing here? Whoops, there it is. La la la. La la la. Hello, Dan. Hello, Alana. Just wait until everybody else shuffles over in their slippers with their coffee. Got my coffee. I'm on actually my third cup of coffee, and I usually just drink two. It was a shit show last night. And now we are on aisle 4 for cleanup. Haha, nickname. Hey, Jean, it has been the longest time ever. Ah, yeah, hey, Sade, nickname, Candy, Jean. We're all here. Hail, hail, the gang's all here. So, everybody's been around, and I just wanted to stick my oar in. I have no idea if Bounty's up and around, but I leave my live streams up, so he is actually. Uh, there is an invitation for him to come up on panel so we can talk. Um, with no yelling and screaming and idiots. Oh, and mods. I have given you very few rules with your wrenches, and pretty much you guys have been stellar. Um, if you suspect a troll of a certain ilk, if you know what I mean, um, please please dispose of them. If there is somebody that is genuinely a friend of Angie's and has questions or is just stating feelings, let it pass unless it's uh, hey Kate, hang on, unless it's vicious or insulting. Everybody's got a voice, so let's try and not hit everybody over the head. And this rule does not apply to Bell Pepper. You are
Thank
not.
you.
Yeah, she is not welcome. The first sniff of that ratchet c word, please get rid of her. She has no voice here. So, Kate, I know that you have missed most of it.
I'm sorry I did. Oh my God. I need to learn to live without sleep, I suppose, because,
I It was 1 a.m. when I finally crawled into bed, and I'm going to be up at my regular time. I know it. And sure enough, 5:30 in the morning, guess whose eyes popped open? It sucks being old. So I'm on my third cup of coffee. But I wanted to sort of touch on, oh, Alana, I'm sorry you cried last night. And let me do some quick highs. Doe, Candy, Alana, you were brilliant last night on
I
Bounty's
was,
panel.
yeah,
You were cool, calm, collected. You had what you had to say. And I think you gained some mad respect from that corner. So congratulations. You done us proud.
I
Uh,
agree. I
yeah.
agree. I mean, I was kind of listening last night. I'm blessed. I'm getting ready to get a visit from one of my brothers. So I'm very thrilled about that. But I was laying and we're getting some of our first winter storms for the season, and it's just killing me. So that's why I'm kind of on panel. I'm just going to be lurking a little bit. My hands are just like a mess today. And
Oh, the
my
change in
husband,
atmosphere.
It is, and I'm a human barometer as it is, with the back, with the knees, with all the other crap. It's just like, oh my god. So I can tell you, and I told my husband, I said, it's going to be crappy weather, and he goes, no, it's not supposed to. And I'm like, well, since when do they ever get a forecast right, anyways? But he was so sweet. He goes, well, you should just go on panel or something and lurk since your hands hurt. And I said, well, that's so sweet of you, thank you. But
Yes,
I fell
yes.
asleep last night listening. I was going to go into Alana's after candies, but I was just like, I'm just gonna kind of chill. And then I got to talking with some other family members, and we're doing because my brother's not gonna make it quite for Thanksgiving, but he's gonna be here just after. So we were doing some of that kind of stuff. By the time I got off the phone, it was kind of late, and I just didn't want to interact. I thought I'll just kind of lay here and watch TV. And as typical fashion, and again, this is a standing joke. Lucy would love this about me too. Fraggle hugs wherever you are, sweetheart. I fell asleep with my phone in my hand. He came upstairs. He goes, honey. I'm like, uh-huh. He goes, you fell asleep with your phone in your hand again. I'm like, oh shit, oh well. And he goes, I'll put it away for you. I said, aren't you so sweet? And the next thing I know, I had a kitty next to me purring his little butt off. So I'm like, and I just was out. But I heard parts of what happened, and I was going back to re-listen and stuff. But I have to give a shout out to Bounty. I think he really tried to be fair, let people talk.
Yes.
So I thought that was really nice of him to let you know people try to talk. And he's a smart guy. I mean, he's not, and I love it. People want to joke around. My grandparents lived in the South for a very long time, so I'm very familiar with the South. I love the South. um, but just because somebody talks with a southern accent doesn't mean they're stupid. So the man's not stupid. And so other people saw what was going on. We all saw, what MT does. And this is just it. And Angie has no right to get upset. None. Because
Hmm.
she knows how MT is too. She knows better than anybody.
Oh yeah, no, no, and this MT, and I'm directing all of this to Bounty because I want you to um, take your time with this video if it is, and if you got any questions, feel free to reach out to any one of us.
Yeah, because
Some
I
know
heard
more than
you
I
ladies
do.
put in a yeah, you ladies put in a long night last night to kind of
Oh
see what
my
was going
lord,
on.
my lord, my lord. The thing is, what I wanted to address about one thing about Angie is when she was going, you don't know MT. She doesn't either. The ladies on this panel, the ladies and gent in this chat have known him for years.
True. Three, at least
Yeah,
three of
yes.
those years, almost three.
And
He
they,
wants to get technical
exactly.
on me, but yeah, okay, whatever. But
Yeah. So I don't know where she's coming from. He feeds her stuff. She
yep,
consumes it and she spews it out. They have, I don't know, a feeder relationship. Um, he thinks he's pretty good at manipulation, and he probably is to vulnerable women. You have to ask yourself or sit down and think, why would a 27-year-old gay male surround himself with middle aged, needy women?
and well,
Some with
just to,
disabilities, whether physical and mentally. And I'm talking to you, Lynn.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and what he does with this little group of menopausal women is he manipulates. He gets their personal information. Uh,
yeah,
yeah, and then he works them against each other
that's
because
true.
a lot of those women he surrounded himself with were all friends with some of the ladies in this community.
Yeah,
And he stuck his oar into it, stirred it around, fostered mistrust, got another community leader or channel involved, which is a whole different story, and we'll leave that for perhaps another day, Annie. But this is
true.
this is what he does. I hate to give him such a title as a puppet master, but pretty much he does with overly trusting women. And I'm one of those people. Well, I will give you a side eye for a while before I decide whether I like you or not. So I observed what he did, in that community. That's my first interaction with him. I'm probably one of the only ones that don't know him that well, other than from experience from others. And
Right.
I kept thinking to myself, why is he, a young man, and not a bad looking young man, surrounding himself with all these old perimenopausal and menopausal women? I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure it out for the longest time. And then it clicked. They all ask Pat him. They probably send him money. Um, he likes the power dynamic.
Oh,
Um,
definitely.
oh
Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He's a nasty little shit with no redeemable qualities. Same with Angie, by the way. I'm throwing her in there. Alana, kudos for trying to solve it last night. Ain't gonna happen. If you can make peace with them, then that's you. The rest of us have don't want anything to do with it. Not I anyway. Oh, I forgot to say hi to Mary Cream. Hello, Mary Cream. Um,
Hi, Mary Cream.
yeah. So that is our or my take on MT. Kate, if you want to take it further because you have more experience with him.
Well, I just, again, I haven't finished catching up on, the current stuff from uh, what happened all last night and everything, but I just do know that this, they work as a team. And I hate to say that, and this is how it's been from day one since, you know, uh, when Angie first started to come around, I kind of back up just a little bit here.
Hey,
My
Kristen.
first experience with her was what she did to another YouTuber just out of malice. I mean, and I was shocked. I was like, wow, just because you didn't like something she said, you wanted to dox her, you wanted to embarrass her, you wanted to publicly shame her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what got me in trouble with Red, basically, because, after I saw that, and again, Red did a lot of late night stuff, and I wasn't around a whole lot except for the weekends. Then maybe I was, but in the initial part of it, when she first came around, it was just before Halloween, and um, MT and Red went over to one of her lives and were just basically trolling her a little bit, throwing her some shade here and there. Well, then she went over to one of Red's lives. And now I don't worry about that because Red had, wonderful mods over there at the time that would have his back and, wouldn't let anything get out of control. And, but she was able to insert herself because that's just the one thing I think a lot of people don't really realize is how smooth they can be. And again, they work together, they work off each other. And so, you know, they became friends. And I warned Red. I just said, just keep, and I still have the screenshots of it, of all our conversation. I still have the screenshots. I just told him, I said, hun, please be careful. I said, somebody that's going to act like this out of malice to dox somebody, to embarrass them, what would she do to you if she gets upset with you? I said, that's what you have to watch for.
Mm-hmm.
And and he goes, nah. And right now, and a lot of people do. That's why it's called a kind of a pretzel community. We all have a history with one another, and sometimes it's not all that pleasant of a history, but it's a history. And at that time, Red and Candy were definitely beefing, and basically, he told me behind the scenes, he goes, you know what, it's making her mad. It's making Candy mad, so I'm running with it. And I said, well, dude, I said, that is going to come back and bite you in the hiney big time.
Oh, gosh.
So, and now here hindsight's 2020, and it didn't take long for him to realize what was going on because, and again, typical guys fashion. And MT is bisexual, by the way. I thought I would just add that little
Oh,
tidbit.
well, he says.
Um, right, yeah, and true, but yeah, I mean, come on, he does so many inappropriate things behind the scenes, and then stands back and goes, "Oh, I don't know what you're talking about." That's what they both
Exactly.
do. That's what they
Yeah.
both do, and they're like, "Oh no, that wasn't me." And the one thing that I do have to tell these guys is Candy has, I don't know how many clones now. There's even a new one that Candy has. And if somebody gets a comment in your comment section on one of your videos, all you got to do is go click on it. It takes a second to confirm. Now, Candy has content, just like I have content. It's
And
not
I
big
have.
deal
Yep.
content, but it's content. The trolls don't have content. So it takes 2 seconds to go and look and see. And, Candy gets the short end of the stick. And this has been going on for a while. This has caused problems in other communities because, Candy's not around a whole lot. But when she is around, sometimes she's got something to say. We're very similar people. We all, if we've got something to say, we're going to say it. And we don't sugarcoat stuff. We don't sit there and, ass pat and pat you on the head, and it might be harsh, but it's the truth, and it comes from the heart, kind of.
Yeah.
And so, hang on a second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, with all of us, there is not one of them that can produce from either me or Kate and some of the other ladies any evidence, any screenshots, anything secret, any emails, DMs that I wouldn't say to anyone's face here and now. So that is another thing they can't use. It's because I don't do it. There's no evidence of me doing it, and I wouldn't do it.
Right.
Have I given out warnings? Absolutely. But
Oh,
I do it
sure.
publicly. I do it publicly. Alana
Right.
can attest to that. That was where
Oh,
most
yeah.
of our issues began.
Yeah.
And but what we did do was when we were at the worst of it, we came together and we worked it out because that's what grown-ups do. But we took it off platform because it wasn't a show, and it was iffy for a while, and but look at her now.
Right.
And I'll ask Pat everybody, right, Alana?
Right. I
We
mean,
gave
yeah.
her a space to talk and a no judgment zone, and I think everybody deserves that. And we have certainly not pointed her in anyone's direction and fired her to
No,
move into another community. That's
exactly.
yeah.
And again, that was the whole thing too. You know, and again, I'm not even sure. I don't really want to bring her up right now, but I don't even know how she got inserted into all this, anyways. Because again, the clones, and I hate to say this, but we kind of do know who the clones are, because I noticed somebody in a comment that was at Bounties the other night, and they said, we haven't gotten trolled till we knew you people. That's right. That's true. Only because they don't want, there's a couple people over in that community that don't want us to be a part of anybody else's community. They
Mm-hmm.
don't want us to be friends. They don't want that. So what they do is they create little accounts, they create their little drama, and they go in and troll to make it look like it's the other communities doing it. That's how they do it.
Yeah.
And they say, well, I've never been trolled until, I met some of Alana's people or these other people. That's exactly right. And again, I don't know how many times I've said this about me, and people that know us, that know I'm going to come at you straight on, head
Yeah.
on, and tell you exactly what I think. Yeah, does it get me in trouble? Yeah, it sure does. But oh well. So I don't need to go make sneaky accounts or make clone accounts of other people to come and say something. I
Mm-hmm.
say it right to you. And again, MT thought he had big fun, getting screenshots of our Discord. No, I didn't know. Nobody said anything in Discord that we would have already said
Yeah.
right to your face.
Exactly my point. Yeah. We're Discord is just off YouTube. It's not our secret clubhouse where we get to back talk everybody.
Right, exactly.
For Angie
And
and MT, but not for us. So
Yeah, but it's just it's very frustrating, I think, for people because and like I said, Bounty's a smarter guy. He kind of got it because he has, some eyes and ears like everybody else does that kind of goes around and follows what's going on. And, was it inappropriate for him to go around and stir stuff up? Yes, it was. But that's what he does.
Yeah.
Now, and he only does that because he's put up to it by other people. And it doesn't take rocket science to figure out who's behind the strings. I hate to be that way. I hate to be, but since we're being honest and we're telling the truth, you know, it's just what it is.
It is.
So, and it is frustrating. And I understand that. And, but it's time to just stop sugarcoating everything and let people see what the truth is. And I'm sorry, but, you know, I just got to the part to where Alana and Candy were up on Bounty's panel. And I think they both did good. But, the one guy, James, he really needs to take a step back and again, click on the comment. Just because it says it's Candy, it's not. Candy's going to come at you straight ahead. She's not going to go sneak behind the comments. And his question was, well, I'm a little bitty channel. Why would somebody come and troll me?
I got that
I,
too. That, yeah. What?
I have I have 100 subscribers. The same Candy has trolled me. Come on.
And I'm just under
It's
400. There you go.
right, and it's not for the fact that however many subs you have. It's who you know.
Uh-huh.
So James instantly saw the comment, probably became upset because we all know and let me kind of break it down this way too. There's several other. There's a not. It's not me, Candy Morgan. That one goes live and says some silly stuff and plays some songs and they go after certain people. Basically, it's kind of like their version of dishing out some karma from time to time. So they go after a few people and that clone account we get there. Candy clones have been around for a long time. They used to go around to say silly stuff and it was very easy to identify that was a Candy clone. It wasn't a problem. But then as stuff started getting more intense, the communities were getting a little bit more fractured and a little more fractured. Then this is the one thing we tried to do is Candy could care less if she's a mod. Most of us don't care if we're mods or not. I mean, that's just not what it's about. But it was easy to make the real Candy a mod because it identified her. The people would try to come and troll us over at Annie's. Well, we were mods. Hello. It's kind of hard to come and troll when the other person is there, for one, and they're not blue. So it's like, that's kind of stupid to try and troll somebody who's a mod. But so it's pretty easy to identify. So that was the whole point of making Candy a mod in certain places because again, she's not around all the time, but when she pops up, people are like, oh, is that the real Candy? Oh God, is that really Candy? So it's easier just to go, okay, here's your mod. We know it's you. End of story. But other people made huge productions about it.
Yeah.
And a bigger YouTuber thought it would be kind of cute to every night we would be told who to take out and who to tolerate. But then every night the list got cleared and they were all back again the next day because the creator went ahead and unblocked everybody. Well, that was the one thing. The Candy clones were getting modded, unmodded because we're, as a group, nobody wants inappropriate comments. So we're all trying to hit the comment at the same time and we're blocking it, we're unblocking it, we're doing everything. It's like, oh shit, okay, somebody elect somebody to do the blocking. So it was just, a comedy of errors. But that was the whole point of stuff is, you wanted to just keep even keel, but people behind the scenes won't allow that to happen. And they need to see who the common denominators are, and they are seeing it. And that's really great that that's happening. But what I'm so disappointed in is that Angie knows what's up with MT. That's what they're kind of like, we joked about this a while back. They're both kind of like the same character, only one's male and one's female, if that
Yeah.
makes sense. And so they play off each other, they feed off each other, they put each other up to things. And, you know, I don't know. I don't even really know how to term it without being
They
totally
are just
offensive.
the opposite ends of the same
Spectrum.
point
Maybe.
spectrum. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Right.
They are. Yeah, they're just. I don't know. When you, all I can say is, if you lie down with dogs, you're gonna get fleas.
Yep, and I said that not long ago,
Yeah.
Kathy. And
Yes,
and
I
that was the
remember.
thing last
Yeah.
night because Bounty was trying to be respectful and let everybody talk. He was trying to have a say. And, you know, it didn't help because Nikki had attacked before. And I don't have a problem with the ladies, so don't come after me, woman, because it would not be a happy thing. She went over to Alana's one night and came in when a lot of them were coming in. And
Hmm.
she had a few choice things to say. And yeah, she got timed out and probably eventually blocked. But she last night did not help the situation. She kept, you know, Candy is Candy. When Candy gets upset, and I see that a lot of people are like that. Nobody likes to be told that they're lying. Nobody likes to be called a liar. And James was clearly saying, "Well, I'm not going to forgive you or talk to you till you fess up that really was you putting that on my channel." Well, because she's not going to fess up to something she didn't do because it wasn't her. So again, they need to go back and double check with simple methods to double check before you start going off on somebody. So,
Hmm.
you know, and Nikki was telling, you know, Candy that she never shuts up. Well, Candy had a right to speak, and she wasn't getting that chance to speak before people were wanting to take over and say stuff. And, you know, and then Nikki didn't help the situation at all. Right? Because
Yeah.
telling her under her breath to shut the fuck up and that kind of stuff, that doesn't help it. It
Right.
really didn't help the
And I just
situation.
want to jump in, Kate, and say, um, there were way too many people on that panel that
I
had no
agree.
dog in the fight, and they
Yeah,
should have respectfully withdrawn and let Bounty and Alana and whoever else was involved their space, Candy, um, to get to talk without comments from the peanut gallery, as it were. So yeah, that's the only thing that I had a problem with. I think Nikki did come later on in the stream and sort of went, okay, I get it. I'm still going to be friends with Angie, but I respect what Alana did, and that actually was pretty satisfying, and I was pretty impressed
good.
with.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm glad. I haven't got to that part yet, and that's
yeah,
fine. But I have to address something that Krista said. Krista, you know, I don't have a problem with you, but how can you judge about what Bounty did to Angie? What about what Angie's done to everybody else?
yeah.
You know, I know you want to say you have an opinion and you try to be neutral, and you do, Krista. You really are a very neutral person. I get that. But I have seen you kind of go from one chat to another, not contradicting yourself, but kind of keeping things stirred up a little bit. And I don't think that's your intention, but that's kind of how it's coming off as. Now, Bounty, Angie, this is one thing about Angie, and this has been a point for all along, as you try to get Angie to get up there and talk and have a conversation, but if it doesn't go how exactly Angie wants or thinks it should go, she gets mad, she gets in a huff, she picks up her toys and goes home. And that's the part I just got to was, you know, that's what she did. She, you know, well, if you're not going to listen to what I have to say about MT, you don't even know MT. Well, they're finding out about MT, and that's not anything she can stop because they're seeing it with their own eyes. So, you know, she can't get upset that they're calling MT out on his behavior because somebody does need to call him out on his behavior. They do. And Bounty had every right on his channel to call MT out on his behavior because
Exactly.
I don't think people realize that MT's going behind the scenes on other live streams making
Mhm.
super chats to say nasty crap. So that's not okay. Where does he get off on that? And he didn't do it of his own accord. He had somebody nipping at him to do it. So again, that's the whole thing. So I'm not trying to cause any problems with Krista or anything, but you know,
No, and
it's
this is
you
good.
know,
I mean, I want Krista to say what she feels. I mean, they're friends, and I get it. And it is a comment and a question, and she's got a right to ask it. But
absolutely.
we see a different side to her. We have Krista, and you can't defend all of her crap. You don't have to answer here. I'm not trying to get you into a debate over it. I'm just saying, as a matter of course, she is not a good person. She has probably never been a good person. And if you see redeemable aspects to her, then God bless you. But I don't. And I am an excessively good judge of character. Always have been. It's gotten me out of so much shit in my life. I go by my instinct, my gut feeling, and by the way they present and interact with people. And I think
Exactly.
if everybody kind of sits down and thinks about it, they're kind and and there are people that get off on damaged people,
Yeah,
that they surround themselves with the drama. And I did at first when I started going on, in the hater community, then I was not a hater because I just thought, these women are just trying to make some money. I had no objections. I love the fact that Amberlyn Reed pulls it in, like banks it
right,
every month. I just love that for her.
right.
So my foray into the hater nation was very brief, and then I was in with the Nags and the Peanut Gallery and all that stuff, and I think that's where Alana and I started butting heads. But that's a story for another day. Um, and then it kind of just got repetitive. If there was never an ending, I like endings. I like good endings. Doesn't have
Well,
to
yeah,
be.
we all do.
Let me say satisfying ending. Doesn't have to be a great ending, but it has to satisfy. And
Well,
it
sure.
was never going to happen. It's just a one. It's the snake eating its own tail. It'll never end. So I kind of
Right.
distance myself from anti haters. And then, I'm just like, well, I'm just going to bullshit on a lie. Look what happened.
Right. And I do agree with what Annie Janney said, because
Mhm.
that was my first experience with Angie, is
Yeah.
what she did to her. And it wasn't okay. And I was the one that came right out, out of the chute going, hey, well, red flags, hello, hello, no.
Mhm.
And and people just, patted me and said, oh no, you're misunderstanding, Kate. That's not how it is, Kate. And, but I'm seeing these same people sit there and perpetuate the lies, you know? So, and especially, and again, I said it again, Jody had no right to
Uh-huh.
insert herself. That live's gone, so I can't watch it. I don't know where that one went, but, because again, some of the stuff got deleted, so I never saw that one. But
Yeah.
I understand protecting your friend. We all want to protect our friends. We all want to do that. That's just human nature. You want to protect your friends. But there's a difference between protecting your friends and allowing your friends to participate in things that are underhanded.
Mhm. Mhm. It is. It's. I'm sorry, I just caught Candy's comment about Canada has many time zones. We're a very big country.
Right. And it doesn't matter about whether you agree with what somebody does or disagree with somebody does, that yes, you can still be their friend. But I'm just saying is, when you are someone's friend, sometimes you have to be that person's friend and be honest with them.
And pull them back.
And I've never seen one of Angie's friends do that.
And I never saw any of them say, "Don't take that drink." Not one.
Well, and we even covered this the other day. Angie's a big girl. If she wants to drink, that's her choice. That is her decision as an adult. We all make adult decisions every day. Some are right, some aren't right, but they have to figure it out for themselves. I'm just saying again that if one of my friends that I knew was an alcoholic and had been sober for 7 years was wanting
Mm-hmm.
to take that drink, I wouldn't be like MT, woohoo, girl, go for it. I'd be like, whoa. And even I think Bounty was the one that said, you sure you really want to do that? And she said, yes, she did. End of story. Enough said. She's a
Yeah.
big girl. She can drink if
There's
she
only
wants
so
to.
much. Yeah. But like
Exactly.
you, I would have said, please don't do
Exactly.
that. Look at
Right.
what you're going to lose if you start doing that again. And
Right.
like you said, it's their decision. But
It
I
is.
would have probably said, stop. Don't do it. We've all had issues with people in our lives with alcohol. So,
And
yeah,
it is. And
yeah.
alcohol, it's a very, very, it's a demon. It's a personal demon. And, and thankfully, it's not been one of mine. I'm just very, very lucky that I haven't had an addictive personality. I'm just lucky that way. But, she worked hard for that, just like she worked hard to lose weight.
Mm,
She worked hard for that sobriety. She did it for her family. But now, that's gone, and she has to be the one to rethink it. She dropped a video the very next day trying to put some of the blame onto Candy
yes.
for her losing her sobriety, and I thought that really upset me because I'm like, you know what, you have to take responsibility for your own actions. You can't put that on anybody else, no matter what. You can't do it. It was her choice alone. It doesn't matter if you've got that much stress coming from YouTube, and you want to blame other people on YouTube for your addictions and your issues, it's time to log off and walk away for a while.
Hmm.
So that really upset me that she did that to Candy, because it's not Candy's fault. It's nobody's
No.
fault. It's
See, that is
nobody's fault that she made that choice.
yeah, and that is a sign of a narcissistic personality. They do not take responsibility for their own actions. Like when everybody was getting after her for letting that poor cat die in agony, and she sat there and live streamed it. You
Right?
know, like there's a disconnect.
Yeah.
Um, I don't
That
know. Dropped on your head when you were born because I am flabbergasted. I still can't get over that.
no, that me, Kathy. That I mean, I've been a pet sitter, not just
Yeah.
I'm licensed, I'm bonded. I've been a pet sitter for many, many years, and to even think that, I mean, one time my husband and I were about to take a vacation, and it was a very expensive vacation. One of my cats got sick the night before. And I'm like, well, so much for that vacation. He goes, honey, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going anywhere and leaving my pet. If something is wrong with my pet, this is our responsibility. This is our pet. This is the what we took on as responsible people. And thank God it got worked out and she was okay and we were able to go on our vacation. But that's the choices that you make. That's called adulting. You have to make adult choices. And she just does not do that sometimes. She puts her own, and she starts GoFundMe's. Well, I'm sorry, but if she can do some of the, is this me maybe being judgmental of her? Possibly. But if you put it all out there, it's people are going to look at it and walk away kind of going, huh. Same with MT. Nobody has ever, people say we say stuff about MT. I have never repeated anything that I did not hear come out of his mouth first. Nothing. He's the
Well,
one that
that's
tells everybody everything.
yeah.
So, I'm not repeating anything. I'm just going by what he's told everybody. So again, same with Angie. Some people are just like that. Maybe they want to tell everybody all their business. That's up to them. But they can't get upset when people come back and talk about a decision that they made, whether it was right or wrong. People are going to have opinions about it. So that hurt me so bad, Kathy. Somebody sent me a clip of it. I couldn't even, I listened to two
Yeah,
seconds and
no,
I just burst into tears. I
yeah.
couldn't do it.
It's
I
just
couldn't
there
do it.
is something wrong, like her parenting skills. Or I came across, and this was totally by accident. It just came on Twitter. One of her old emails. I was looking for something else. I don't know why it was there. I kind of recognized the name Princess Angie or something like that. So I clicked on it. It said it's an old email. She doesn't use it anymore. Um, but she had made a tweet saying she doesn't know how to be a mother. She doesn't know how to do this. Like, and it was kind of sad. And I clicked off. I don't need to go there, but she put it out there on Twitter that she
Right.
had some mothering issues. She didn't know how. Maybe she couldn't bond with him. I wish women would not mother children they don't want. It just give. There are so many women out there that can't have children. You know,
True. That's
um,
true.
you know, that boy would have been so much better off without her. And if this sounds like a hurtful thing, well, I'm sorry. I'm not here to ass pat you, Angie. You are a bad mother. You are a bad mother. You live stream your sexuality out. You have told people you don't care if his friends see your videos.
Right.
What do you think those friends are doing to your son?
Right.
You
Because
think they're
kids, we
giving
all
him
know.
high fives? Oh, yeah. He's
Yeah.
probably suffering from it
Right.
badly. And you don't care. There's
No,
something
she gets
wrong with it.
defensive. Yeah, she
Mm-hmm.
gets defensive, gets
Yep.
upset, starts yelling at everybody about it, that we don't know any better. We don't know her. And that's just it. That's just it. We do know
We
because
do
we're
know.
not stupid. We see. I
You
mean,
put it all out there. And then
exactly.
Auntie put out another video after the one I sent you. He put out a 30-minute one, and in the middle of that one, he says he addresses himself to Vince Matthews and says, "Did you know Angie told me that you're lousy in bed and that you didn't go down on her long enough?"
Oh my.
Yeah, and this is what she does. This is what she does. I would when
Wow.
I had to rewind that and listen to it again because I was sure I'd heard wrong. And nope, there it
Right.
is.
Right.
Oh God.
Right.
So
And see, and again, and I'm no prude. They've all called us prudes and biddies and whatever because
yeah,
we don't share that type of want for that type of entertainment. For one, Angie's
yeah,
40 years old.
yeah.
I think she's having her late midlife crisis. And again, like I said, I bought a car for my midlife crisis. That was just so much easier. I mean, that was a lot easier for me. But I'm 60 years old. She's like, MT's, well, you don't have anything. You don't have a life. You're always on YouTube. No, hon, I do
Nope.
have a life. I help run a business, but I've lived most of my life now. And I worked hard for every little tiny thing that I have. So
Yeah.
if I want to take a little bit of a break, I do. And, you know, I still have plenty of things to do. I help my husband run a business. Since I'm going to be on medical leave again for the pet sitting gig, and that's okay because, I'm more than happy to stay with my little rumpus curled right up in front of this fireplace and a happy camper in the wintertime and let some of the other kids come in and do their work. If I have a client that wants me to do their visits and stuff, I will. But other than that, no, I'm off for the winter and I'm a happy camper. And this is our slow season for us for construction and doing what we do. So I'm all
Hmm.
for it. So yeah, I might get to be around a little bit longer. But who is it for him? He never even goes out of his house, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why is he wanting to judge me because I'm way older than he is? But yet he wants to sit there and put words in my mouth about what I do and don't do.
Yeah. And
And
in
I
my
tried to talk
40s,
to
I
Angie.
went and maxed out my credit card, went on a fabulous vacation. So,
Yeah, exactly.
that was my midlife
Right.
crisis.
Right.
I
I mean,
paid for that for a very long time.
yeah. So, it is what it is, and I'm at a loss. I really am. I tried to talk to Angie a long time ago when all this first came out. She would get mad. You don't know me. Come talk to me. Be a woman. Come and talk to us. Well, anytime I did, it didn't. You couldn't even get a word in edgewise with her. Or as soon as you asked a tougher question, she'd get mad and leave.
Yeah.
And then she would say we blocked her. No, you got mad and had a hiss fit and left
Yeah,
because
and
you
then
didn't
started
want to
alive.
face the difficult
Yeah.
questions. Right,
And then
exactly.
immediately started alive. Yeah.
Right, right. And a lot of people, well, if you did something wrong, you don't own up to it. I'll be more than happy to own up to whatever I've done. I'm not perfect. I've done plenty of crap. But you know what? I don't backstab the people that I are my friends.
Me too.
And I don't go around trolling everybody to start up drama because and this is the last thing that Alana wants peace. Yes, she does. I know she does. And because she's a nice lady, she really, she was very misunderstood, I think, in a lot of points, and we've all come to an understanding. And are we all friends and best buddies? No, we're not, but we've came to an understanding to just let it go. And everybody else kept saying that too over at Bounties. Can't you just let it go? Can't you just let it go? But before they let it go, they want to be heard and understood, especially Candy. Alana got a lot to say, and that was good for her. I was very proud of her. She did a great job. She was respectful. She got her point across. But Candy, sometimes it takes a little bit longer for her to get her point out there, but she needs to be heard as well. And the only time anybody was gonna, well, I'm just Team Angie, I'm just Team Angie. Well, that means that they're shutting down and they're not allowing anybody else's opinions to come in to where they can even consider it. So that's just shutting down. And the
Hmm.
James guy was, well, I'm not even going to listen to you until you come out and say that,
Yeah.
you admit that that was you. Well, because it wasn't her. I've got tons of screenshots. And again, they want to say, MT does a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I've got screenshots. I can put a video together today and show the nasty stuff that he's left on my channel about me, about being motherless, just trying to hurt me. But he has to realize, and this goes for any of them, they're not going to hurt me because first I have to care about what you say. And if you're that way, I don't care about what you say. So that's not going to hurt me. That's just going to make me stand back and go, prove my point. There it is.
Yep.
So that's it for me. So I don't know what else I can really say about anything, but you know, Bounty has a right to be heard. He has a right to, and I think he handled it, things pretty nicely from what I saw. And I have to give him kudos for that because he was trying to let everybody speak. Now,
Yeah.
you know, hopefully Candy
Right.
can go back and have a say and talk to
It
where
would be
they can
best if it was
actually,
a one-on-one kind of a situation
yeah.
instead of 10 people on panel
Oh,
because
absolutely.
that never works out
No,
ever. And
no,
it's
no.
confusing for some of us that have ADHD. So all those lives last night drove me crazy. Thank you very much. But Bounty, I am impressed with how he handled what was going on. Um, it was uh, he's got to though look at who he's modded very carefully because that was his channel and his mods were not supporting Bounty. I
No,
don't care what your personal thoughts are about a situation, but you're on my channel. Everybody, and so I'm going to support, like, I'm for Peanut, when I was a mod for Peanut before she got her channel taken down, um, I knew exactly what she wanted from me, and I did. even though I saw people in her chat that I couldn't stand, Alana. um,
Right.
uh, so yeah, but I was by her rules, and then I would go to Fedora because I mod for her also, and I know her rules, and I abide by her channel rules. Hater Nation News, same thing. Um, there was somebody else that just couldn't. Oh, for Alana, now that I mod for Alana, I just get rid of the trolls because they're distracting. And unless Alana says leave it be, I will delete. Bell pep.
Exactly, exactly. And I have to admit, I was guilty of that when I modded for Annie. And
Well, it
the
was
only reason,
yeah.
well, the only reason being that it was more difficult really was because, a lot of us had been diehard supporters for Annie at the time for quite a period of time. And like I said, I tried early on to talk to Angie, and it didn't work out. Somebody said, I was sitting here one Friday night just chilling out and having a good time with my family, and I got a message that she's over there talking about you. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Let me go and see what's going on. And so I went over to her channel and I lurked for a few minutes to see what was being said. Well, I kind of got the gist of it, and this is hard for any creator to, I get it, but she was reading the comments aloud that were in her coming up in her live. Well, some of the comments were very negative towards me and towards Nickname. And, and she was reading the comments. So again, I get it. But after she read the comments as they were written, she was adding her own 2 cents in. That was
Mm-hmm.
definitely not good. And so again, this is me. I mean, you call me out, I'm coming, and I'm there. And I said, here I am. Do you need to say something to me? And she instantly went off on me and started calling me names and called me an old biddy and everything else. I'm like, well, more, I'm like a broad. A friend of mine named me that a long time ago. You're a great broad, Kate. So, that's me. That's not offensive to me. So, and I'm like, why are you calling me names? And she goes, well, I wasn't. I was just reading. I'm like, no, you were adding your own 2 cents into after what the troll was saying. So I said, that is coming at me. So she deleted me immediately. And I said, well, she instantly went off. And anybody that's seen some of her old stuff, and I've got a couple good clips. And I know, Kathy, you know the one I'm talking about.
Uh-huh.
You know, that's what you get back. You get that look and you get that nasty.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between upset and then being over the edge nasty. And she instantly blocked me. And then her and MT went on a live and 4 hours ranted and raved about me, about Nickname, about Sukina, about other people. And it's just like, you got to be kidding me. What is wrong with you people? You know? And so I tried to talk to her. And after that, I wanted nothing to do with her. And then plus what she was doing to some of my friends was absolutely just ridiculous. So yeah, we're not going to get along. And I see that. And, Nickname and I talk behind the scenes. She's a very dear friend of mine. She's a personal friend of mine. And we pegged it. We're just like, and I warned Red, that's all I can do. That's all I can do. So I sat back. Now, in Annie's live, again, one day they were friends, the next day they're not friends. We're told behind the scenes what we're supposed to do. So,
Yeah.
excuse me, I'm so sorry. Granted, when she came in there, because the only reason, again, she was coming into that live at Annie's was because Annie has a relationship with MT that I can't explain. I don't even want to try. Uh, it's unusual to me as far as I'm concerned why she's put up with him wishing death on her family before. She called someone's mom at 6 o'clock in the morning. He did, and it's just ridiculous some of the crap he pulls for being 27 years old and having 3 children. He needs to grow up and figure shit out. So again, what the relationship was, I don't know, but because her and MT were such good buddies, MT wanted her to be able to come over to Annie's. And I'm thinking, dude, I was here first. This is my community. I understand that it's Annie's channel, and I understood that. But I didn't do anything that anybody else didn't do. So yeah, at first, she threw plenty of shade at me. One of the first experience I ever had with her, she's calling me a bitch and she doesn't even know me. And I go, oh hell no. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
So that's not gonna happen. And again, you try to talk to her, nope, she gets upset. You try to bring something up that might be a difficult, touchy subject, and she gets mad, picks up her toys, and runs away.
Yes.
I can't help you if you're going to be that way. And that's exactly what she has not changed at all in a year, is my point. That's every time that's what she does. She did it last night with Bounty. I'm
She
not going
did.
to sit here and listen to you badmouth my friend. Well, honey, maybe you should reel him back in a little bit and tell him knock it off. But she won't. She won't do that. And I think that's one of the big problems. And so again, yes, I timed her out several times in maybe in an appropriate situation. I did, sure. But I got tired of her throwing shade, rolling her eyes at me, and yep, she got blinked a couple of times. Oh, poor thing. Sorry. If that's the worst thing that ever happens to you, if I can't say, hey, I've gone to several lives and been timed out and done whatever, but I think I've handled myself decently. I've tried to be a nice person about it, and I've tried to understand. And she always would say, well, I don't know why she doesn't like me. And no, she wants to make up in her own little head, in her version, that I wanted someone else that was a married man that's 20 some years younger than me. No, I don't. And that was her excuse. That's still her excuse to this day. No, I told her very plainly months and months and months ago, I don't like you because you sat here and said on a public platform that, and this is the time that, so her son was 13 years old, that she didn't care if he watched her videos
Mm-hmm.
or if his friends watched her videos. Now, some of these things were very, very inappropriate for, to be even, but I thought, in my opinion, even put on YouTube. But again, I'm not a prude, but it was inappropriate behavior for younger people to be checking out. She still has young people that goes in her life, and she goes, well, it's not my fault. I can't help it. It is
Yeah.
when you know they are underage, Angie. There's a big difference. If you don't know, then sure, you don't know. But you do know. And that's when you say, hun, I'm sorry, this is an adult place. Maybe I'll have a daytime stream. You can come and, hang out, and we'll have less adult subject matter to talk about.
Yeah.
So, because he does. They live in an apartment, you know? I mean, I've
Mm-hmm.
I've heard her son come in to ask her something and she gets mad. She's like,
Yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah, I've
like,
seen
shame
that
on you,
too.
kid, for coming in here. It's just like, and the walls are thin. I'm just saying that, you know, of course he's probably not going to confront her. That's his mom.
Well,
He
he's
he
probably
wants her to be
starting
a
to tell
mom.
her to F off, any teenager that has no uh, proper parent is going to start with, you can't tell me what to do, F you, because it's coming if it hasn't already started. Like, he's 14 now. How
Yep.
many of us remember what 14-year-old boys are like? Raise your
Yeah.
hand.
Yep. Yep.
So,
And
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 girls
they
too.
take a lot of crap behind the scenes. I mean, if
Yeah.
just imagine if his friends at school
Oh,
found
that's
out.
what
And
they.
they might already. I
And
mean,
again, here comes that disconnect because she should be horrified. Any mother going, oh, you know what? Never occurred to me. Oh my God. And delete, 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 and apologies to my child. But she's gleeful about it. It's
yeah.
sick.
It is sick. It is.
It's
And and again, that's my opinion. I'm not trying to be a prude. I know, Kathy, you're no prude. I know a lot of these women here are not prudes by any means.
sex.
Exactly. Thank you. And like I've always joked around, I'm sorry, I personally want my D to be in the same room with me. So
Exactly.
there's that. There's that. And so and I'm not up on all the new terms and the new technology and sexting and all this other stuff. If that's what floats your boat, more power to you. But that's not exactly a relationship.
Well, it isn't
Okay.
a
So
relationship.
yeah, and if that's, hey, I know that there's long distance dating, but generally people have met first before they long distance date. So I mean, that's just it. And
Uh,
you know,
yeah.
I just, I don't understand why, and I'm not sure how people even got inserted into any of this, but I just know one thing, that Candy is Candy to a fault. She is not going to tolerate the nonsense. And she is going to get right out there and jump in both feet first and go, "Look, that's just Candy. That's how Candy does." And I don't blame her for it. I don't. Because she gets a lot of the short end of the stick too.
She does.
So, she's just trying to stand up for herself. And nobody was trying to insert ourselves into Bounty's community in a negative way, but we're just trying to point out what we've seen, the experiences that we've had, and let them sit back and find it out for themselves.
Yeah.
And
Because
she
white knighting for a problematic YouTuber without checking it out. I was also going to say, Bounty, if you put her name into the search bar and click, there are videos after videos after videos about Angie's bad behavior. My first experience with her was in the Hater Nation, where she was doing reacts and was on panel with some haters. That didn't go well. That's where I first saw her. And then she went after Amy Ramadan, or Amy's Life Journey. I think
right.
it's called Amy's Designs now. She went after her in the most creepy, stalkerish, unbelievable way. She made dolls of this woman. She found out Amy's address and Google mapped her house
Yeah.
on a live or on one of her videos, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty damn sure they're still up. You just need
Right.
to go look because they're all
Right.
there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It was that's like Angie was never my friend, so I was never sucked into her orbit. I just was yuck from the get go.
Yeah,
And
and she
yeah,
did. She rubbed several of us that way, but no, we were just being old, nasty, dried up biddies that don't know any better, and no, that wasn't it at all. I mean, I've got friends that are younger, I've got friends that are older, and it doesn't matter how old you are to be my friend. It's what's inside and what you present. And again, what she did to the first person that I saw her do that to where it was pure malice. There was nothing more about it. And all because, and I still don't really know what exactly started all that, but I just know that she went after this one lady, and she was very malicious about it. She did the only thing she did was to do these things was to be embarrassing. That's the only reason she did it.
mhm,
And you know and she wonders, she would always try to insert herself, and she would always come over and get very upset and defensive. Well, I don't want to be in your community. I'm not in anybody's community. I said, then why do you keep coming here then? Why do you keep trying to insert yourself into the community? If you don't want to be a part of it, what's the point? So she would keep trying to do that. And finally, it was just kind of like, because, I was told about MT a long time ago. My first experience with that guy was well over 2.5 years ago. Another friend of mine who has passed away now introduced me to that community. I went in, it was fun, I had a good time. But just because of, if he didn't like you or get along with you, you were trolled, you were
mhm,
attacked, you went after, but it wasn't, that's just it. If he wants to come ahead and do some of this stuff, he needs to do it under his own name and do it, which I was amazed that he did that to me that day, where I have the screenshots that it was actually him. So usually it's a troll account. Usually that's how he rolls, but it's okay. And I just am at a loss for words at a lot of reasons that this has happened. But he deleted me because I was friends with someone else. That's why he deleted me. And then, I'm behind the scenes talking to people and asking, what's what's the deal with this guy anyways? I mean, um, and they were like, oh, just don't pay him attention. He's got to be the center of attention. I'm like, why? I see that. And, that's just how he did things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so if he didn't like you, I was told way long before that you know what, it's just easier to be nice to MT and cordial instead of being on his bad side. Because if you're on his bad side, you will be trolled mercilessly.
Hmm.
And so I'm just kind of sitting back going, okay, whatever. You troll me, I don't care. I mean, what and
That,
people don't, if they don't feed the trolls, it would be a lot easier, but they don't. They see what the trolls say, they don't check out who the troll is first, or they don't know who it is. And that happened to Alana, God love her. Man, her chats used to be filled with trolls.
oh
And they'd be
yeah.
saying all kinds of nasty crap and getting her egged on. And it was like, dude, we all know who's doing it, because anytime things run smoothly and there's peace that's called, it doesn't last long, because there's a few people in all of these pretzel communities that don't want the peace. They don't want it.
Mhm.
And so they know that the drama sells and the drama gives you views. So that's where they're going to go to get their drama. If they have to make it up, that's what they do.
That's what they do. Yeah. And before the internet, there was the workplace. You can't ever have a good working environment. It just never happens. Ah, what's the
Oh,
link,
thank
Lucy?
you, Lucy.
Oh, oh yeah, thank you.
That was pretty good, actually. I heard about that, and then I had to go look. And
Oh my.
again, if anybody really wants the FYI, I don't know if they're still there, but there's a very nice lady. I don't have any problems with her. Her name is Perfect Storm. Um, she's got to be one of the most neutral people I do know on the internet, and she's done some series on some let's say interesting YouTubers. And if you go to her playlist, she's got an Angie Lee playlist that'll pretty much tell you everything you
Lucy,
need to
can you
know.
find the link and post it, because it's something that should never not be missed, because it just puts everything in a nutshell.
Yeah, hopefully somebody can that's in here that knows. Let me scroll up and look and see who all's in here. Uh,
All you have to do is put in a perfect storm in the search bar, and her playlist will come up.
oh, let me do that here. Let me try that.
Okay.
I'm multitasking. It never does work with me. If I could spell, it would be helpful.
Oh, that always helps. I know.
There it is. There she is. Okay. Well, woman, where are you?
She hasn't been around much. I hope she's okay. I know she's got some issues physically, so.
Yeah, I know. Bless her heart, she does, and I do. I hope she is doing well.
Hi,
I'm gonna
Kate.
go and get this from somewhere else. I have to get to my own subscriptions. I don't know why it's not coming up.
Okay, let me try. Kate, you're a bad girl. I love it.
Oh, what I do now? God, what I
Oh,
do?
Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet.
Oh, hi, Kate, the rebel, the rebel.
Okay, let
She
me.
cracks me up, man. I love her.
Oh, yeah.
She's hilarious.
Let's see.
Where are
Why?
you?
Why
She's
would it?
further
Why
down the
won't
list
it
than I thought.
bring me? But perfect storm, Angeli drama.
And when it was
And
kind of cute last night, I get there she is. Um,
yeah, so she's got two of them. No, yeah, there's two. Two. There's Amy's life journey and Angeli drama, and the YouTube drama Angeli edition.
Yes.
Oh, there's
And I'm
three. My
just going,
response to Angie Lee. Angie Lee, here's why. Oh my God. Perfect.
okay,
Perfect.
now let me go back to you and put it in here. You might hear clicking. I apologize. I apologize. It's clicking. Okay. But yeah, she's a character and a half. She's such a very nice lady.
Thank you, Lucy.
That should be her link. I hope. I
Yeah.
hope that works. It's to a certain video, but that way they can find her channel that way and they can go and go in from there. But because I
Annie,
usually
yeah. Yeah, sorry, Kate. Annie, how is Perfect Storm? Yeah. you know, I look so forward to her. Kiwi Farms considers them her applications for a thread over there. And Strawberry Douche says no.
good.
Deny.
They're smart. They're smart. They're smart. And well, and I've said it before. I mean, everybody over at Kiwi Farms, I don't know anybody.
Oh, yay! hang on, hang on. Lucy, we're here to witness it. Where's my paste? There it is. Come on. Poor dear. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So, yeah, there's Perfect Storm brilliantly tells the story. Uh, there you are. Hello. Long time no speak.
All right, Lucy. Knickers. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, goodness, goodness,
Uh,
goodness. Oh, good. Well, Annie, I hope she does well, and we
yeah.
think about her often. So yeah, she's a nice gal. She really is. Yep,
Uh,
Lucy knew. Lucy knew. Lucy knew. Ay, ay, ay.
well, tell Perfect Storm that the drama is only on here.
Yeah.
We would love to move away from it and see some more of her videos. I miss her small town YouTube videos. Those were
Oh,
good.
me too.
Yeah,
Yeah, me too. Yeah, she's always. I've never had a problem with her. She's always seemed to be a very nice
sure. I
lady. So.
always enjoyed her content. So
Alana, I tell you, I swear, it wouldn't be a Kathy stream or anybody else's for that matter, where I don't kick myself out. So it's just a thing. I don't
hey,
know. I
I've
always
kicked
seem to hit
myself
the
out
wrong
of my
button.
own stream.
Yeah, you did. I forgot
I
about that.
did. I did.
Oh no,
That's
but
talent.
it's too bad, and you know nobody should have to change to be around anybody, and I get that. But I think if things went about it at a different, I don't know, a different level and a different angle, then maybe things would be better because, people get upset and say, well, I shouldn't have to change to be your friend. No, I'm not, and I wouldn't want anybody to change to be my friend.
Hmm.
But I just would want people to take a step back. And again, I really think that if you have a good friend, your good friend is going to tell you the truth, not just
Yeah.
blow smoke and tell you what you want to hear. And I mean, I'm lucky enough and blessed enough in my life that I've got friends that I've known literally almost my entire life. And, I've been into it with one of my girlfriends before that she didn't tell me something I needed to know. And I got very upset with her over it. And, we didn't talk for a year or two after that. And we realized that, yeah, that's not okay. So we got that fixed, and that's good. And we just decided that if something like that ever happened again, that we'd just be honest with each other and tell, it whatever she had to tell me was going to hurt me probably, but it wasn't her fault. It's nothing she did, but it's something that she saw and that she was afraid to say. And now that she knows that she could have done things much differently and it would have been a much better thing for me to have known about sooner, but it's water under the bridge now. And it's things that happen and we're over it, and that is what it is. And people can make amends, but I just, as far as I'm concerned, Alana can be friends with anybody she wants. That just killed me when they sat there and said that, well, we're just using her. We're
Yeah.
using her because she's attacking people. No, Alana's not attacking anyone. She's standing up for herself.
Bingo. That's
And
it.
everybody else wants to do it. They all want to, I'm not bashing anybody. I'm going to use those famous phrases. I'm not bashing anybody, but, well, yeah, you are. And, people have a right to their opinion. And, you know, again, I'm not sure how somebody got inserted into it yesterday, but, they could have solved everything and just popped up on Candy's panel and fixed it right then. But no, they had to go do a live of their own about it. And, that
Well,
just
because yeah.
perpetuates the drama. That
Mm,
just drags the drama on.
because
But
she needs a hug box
yeah,
where it's everybody else's fault. It's not yours, you know? So she got her hug box. That's why she does it. She gets all pissy about what we say about her, and then runs for protection, which Bounty unfortunately was used. And he said quite rightly, he was used until he became, or he no longer was useful, because he had the bad, um, not the bad luck, but to think for himself and to observe what was going on.
exactly.
So, I mean, there are smart people out there, Angie, and you're not going to win all the time. You never win, though. That's the thing. You have been kicked out of almost, well, as long as I've been tracking you, from every community. You have
Yeah,
never
that's
been truly embraced anywhere. Yes, you have your supporters, but I suspect that they're to watch the shit show more than anything.
right, right.
Because
And
no, no, go ahead.
well, no, I wanted to go back to a little bit to Jody, which is bell pepper, and we all knew Jody behind the scenes over at Annie's for a long time.
Yes, please talk about that because people don't know who Jody and Bell Pepper are intertwined to the new people around. Hi, PJ
Well,
or PG.
she when I first, I mean, I've known Jody since almost day one. I mean, she's been around at Annie's. She was in Annie's Discord, very fond of the woman. You know, we all were, and that's just it. We mom you. We mom you to death. That's what we do. I mean, we're gonna mom you. Um, Jody had a lot of health issues. She had problems. Uh, I don't want to call her needy. I don't want to, that's not really the right word, but I think just encouraging. She needed a lot of encouragement, and that's okay. That's what we do. We'd be more than happy to be encouraging to you if you needed it. And that's what I thought we all were. We were very encouraging with her behind the scenes, and, and to just be there for her and pray for her, and, just to hope that she got well. Well, it comes to find out that, you know, when things started really happening with Angie and there was becoming a big separation between, the one chat and Angie, Jody decided that she was going to create another account, called it Bell Pepper, and she started going into Angie's. Now you have to understand both of these accounts were active for a while. She's been in streams before under both the Bell Pepper account and the J Dubs account.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a little bit weird, and I didn't really realize that at the time, but it was, after the fact, I realized it. But, you know, this is where I kind of got on the bad side of Alana, because Alana thought I was coming into her life to start problems, to where actually I was coming in to do a little bit of white knighting, which now I've learned that I don't need to do that for other people. They can do it themselves. But, there was a troll in there that had a version of the bell pepper name, and they were calling Jody out to be bell pepper. And I was like, whoa, wow, okay, that's a shock. And we all hear rumors from time to time, and I'm like, wow, well, I'm going to go right to the source. I'm in Discord with the woman. I sent her a message. Jody, are you bell pepper? And she sent me back a message saying, it took her a few, but she finally got back to me and said, well, yeah, it's me. And I'm like, why are you doing that? What's the deal here? And she said that she felt that she was going to be judged. Again, this is from a chat to where you're welcome to support whoever you want to support, which is what we were all told. And you go where you want to go. You support who you want to support, because that's what we did. We supported Red. We supported Candy. We supported MT. We supported everybody. And that's what we did. But come to find out, and this was all something that she worked up into her own mind, that she would not be accepted at both places. So she said she had to have an alter ego that she could go to Angie's and chat.
Oh.
Well, I was like, why did you feel you had to do that? Because what upset me, and it came back on all of us, is that we were being judgmental to her because of Angie. That didn't have anything to do with Angie. It had to do with the fact that we were not trusted as friends, because we were friends. Jody, we were friends. She could have just come to us behind the scenes and said, you know what, ladies, I am bell pepper. I don't feel like I could be accepted at both places, so I created an alter ego so nobody would know it was me. But we weren't trusted with that information. That's what hurt. It wasn't the fact that what she was doing, it was the fact that we weren't trusted to be told the truth. And she didn't get that. She didn't understand that. And, if you want to know the truth, I think Jody's kind of flirty, raunchy side came out, because she's been friends with Red forever too. And, flirt with whoever you want. Who cares? But that's what Jody wanted to be able to go over to Angie's and talk dirty and be sexual.
Yeah, she found
right.
a platform. Yeah, okay.
Right. And so she wanted to be able to express herself that way, because she felt if she did it over at Annie's, then she would be judged for it, which was furthest from the truth. Who cares? I don't care.
I don't think Annie had any of her live streams were in that nature anyway. So why would Jody feel deprived?
Well, she felt that because since we didn't like Angie over at Munching and Chatting, nobody really cared for Angie back then, still to this day. And so they were, she felt that just because we all didn't like Angie, that she would be shunned by the community. Well, so she had an interesting way of going about it too, because, again, Discord behind the scenes, she sure had plenty to say about Angie behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So that was confusing to me. So again, just be honest, just be upfront. What's the point of lying? And that's what it was for a lot of us. And so she took it and ran with it as that we were going to treat her differently. Well, then when I confronted her about it, it was, oh, I didn't say you were doing that, Kate. I said, well, you just lumped everybody together. You did. You just lumped everyone together. And I tried to explain to her, as other people did, that what was the most hurtful was that you did not trust us enough, women that you've known for a year, to just be honest. That's all anybody asks. Just be honest and tell us the truth. But no, she did not. And now she wants to be, I don't know. I don't know what she's thinking. She's talked, she apologized during this time period to me. Well, I didn't mean it to be that way and whatever. That very same night where she messaged me and told me she was sorry, that was not her intent. She was over at Reapers Live with Angie and MT and all those guys talking crap about every one of us. And it's like, whoa, okay. So, there's that. And I don't appreciate that. I still don't appreciate that from her. So, you know, she can do whatever she wants to do. And by calling her Jody is not a dox because that's how I was introduced to her. So,
Yeah, is she claiming that's doxing her?
well, I think she got upset with someone recently about that. Yes. But you know what? She's a big part of the problem because she wants to be the center of attention. See, that's just it. When Angie's not the center of attention, she gets upset, picks up her toys, and goes home.
Hmm.
That's how she rolls.
Yes.
Well, a lot of other people are doing that very same thing. So again, all I challenge anybody to do, don't take my word for it. Sit back and watch for yourself. Sit back and watch for yourself.
That's it. That's exactly it. All you have to do is observe. If they've got videos about them from other content creators, then there's a problem. I did it when I first uh, approached Candy. Um, I've said this before. There was a whole shitload of videos about Candy, but I found them all just, stupid. And then I started listening to Candy's lives. This is before all the deletions and the troll, well, most of the trolls.
Right.
And she had me laughing. I
Oh,
liked
yes.
I liked
Yes.
her mouth. She spoke to my soul. So I'm going, I don't care what that side says. I like her. And I'm going to join in. So screw it.
Right. Right. Oh, I know because
Yeah.
Candy's hilarious. She
She
is and again, this is one things too that I was grateful to put my differences aside with Candy because when we came in originally, Candy was been with Red and everybody was and all of a sudden Candy's public enemy number one because of other people to where I think he's just a little bit jealous of her. And I'm not talking about Red or anybody else like that. She knows who I'm talking about. It's a person that has had a problem with her from day one and just won't let go. So, but they want to keep stirring the pot up and making Candy look like the bad guy when she's not. She's far from it. And after I kind of started seeing that and saw the light about some other things going on, I went, you know what? I think I need to just kind of hop in here. And I've apologized because, when I was with the other community, yeah, I was hard on Candy. I was very hard on her. And she didn't deserve it. And instead of me doing my own research and finding out for myself, I took what other people told me.
Yeah.
And I
And I
should
think that
not have
was
done that.
do that.
And
Yeah.
yes, and that was my fault. And we've been lucky. We've been friends for a while now. And I told her that a long time ago. I said, I'm really sorry if I judged you over shit that I shouldn't have. And it was a two-way street. She apologized to me because she judged me for stuff that she had heard. So, in the long run, it all became a bit different. And again, it's will I ever be friends with Angie? No. That ship sailed. But do I care about whoever else is friends with her? No, I don't. I don't. I don't care. And you know, if she comes around and I'm not comfortable, I'll dip out. That's
Yeah.
just what I'm going to do because I don't like the woman. I think that she's sneaky and
She's sly.
yeah, and it's a shame. And again, people are just going to have to figure it out for themselves. They already are, which
And she
kudos.
consumes any and all communities into whatever shit she Yeah, blah. We've said it all before. She's toxic. Um,
Right.
she's
Right.
even more poisonous with a partner. And there
Yes.
you know, what
Yes.
else can you say about it? She
Right.
did somebody say she went live to somebody fired up the ambulance?
Ah, I live for
Of course
that.
she
That is
did. That's
so
what she
funny.
did.
Yeah, that's so funny. Because and that the red was hilarious too. I mean, good Lord. Red could be a one-man show if he wanted to. He could just start talking and just keep right on going. And nobody be in the chat. He'd just be in there by himself, just a having a great time, just a yapping. I'd be going in red. Hey, what are you doing, dude? Hello. And but so, and nobody can hold a panel or do a live like Candy. She's very entertaining. She's a lot of fun. Everybody has their moments, everybody has their times. Alana's the same way. She's hilarious. She can be a lot of fun. And it's just that people know certain people's buttons and they use that.
Hmm.
They really do use that. So, I mean, all I've tried to do is sometimes be the voice of reason. Sometimes I'm probably not very good at it, but I really do try. I do try to be the voice of reason and get everybody to kind of step back and go, huh, let me think about that for a while. And like you said, Kathy, if you've given somebody something to think about, then mission accomplished.
Yes, that's all I've ever said. Think and look and do your due diligence before you white knight for somebody. And Bounty, I'm sure your motives were were good regarding her, because who can resist a damsel in distress? But when the damsel brings the drama to every life that you've ever had,
Yep.
and I think if you think back on it, you're nodding your head. Then she's using people to protect her, to form a shield around her, uh, the hug box.
Right.
Listen, Bounty. Rumor has it that she got you to strike Candy.
Oh no.
Please, if there's a heart in you, please go in and retract that for her. She didn't deserve it. Uh, Angie and MT were probably filling your ears with some crap, and Candy minds her own business. For the most part, when nobody else is talking about her, she minds her own business. And she
She
does her
does.
own panels. We have fun on game night. Come and join us when we're playing Hangman. By the way, Candy, I don't like Hangman. Get a trivia game going.
Oh yeah, that's fun. Yeah. Her game nights are epic. Yeah, I mean they
Yeah,
are a
yeah.
blast.
Come and
And with
join the game
winter,
night.
yeah, with winter time approaching, I know she's really busy in her personal life right now. So hopefully, some of that stuff will come out and we'll be able to have some fun on that. But that's all anybody wants is YouTube's supposed to be fun. And it
Yeah,
hasn't been fun lately. It really hasn't because of all the crap. And you know, I wish I knew how to wave a magic wand and make it stop, but I don't.
yeah,
I don't know what
no,
to do. And I just know that there's certain people egging it on and people are starting to see it. And again, that's all anybody can ask is that just, pay attention to what's going on, see it for yourself
yeah,
and make your own decisions. But,
exactly.
you can't sit around and again, that's one thing that that was my point all to begin with anyways. I know you want to protect your friends, we all do. But she does her very own good job protecting herself.
Hmm.
If anybody does anything, she immediately goes live about it, drops a video about it. Come on. Let it go,
I mean,
Angie.
that
Let it
prank one
go.
yesterday was, again, Angie, cringe, all in capitals. That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen anybody do, other
And
than the
I haven't
sauce
I
thing.
haven't watched it.
Oh, the dirty fingernails. I,
Oh, ew.
it wasn't her dirty. It was the picture she chose.
Oh, I'm thinking, oh my
I,
goodness,
I,
oh no.
I didn't even think she noticed, but the rest of us were howling with laughter over it. Next time, why doesn't she clean her nails? It was a little shady.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's just it. There's certain people, and I think that just as this is how she gets what she wants is manipulation,
Hmm.
because she's very good at it. And she's able to do that pull that pity party. Oh, poor me, they're bullying me, they're picking on me. No, nobody's picking on anybody, but we are going to respond and react.
Yeah.
So there's that. And I mean, there's a few people at Bounties that I don't mind. I think I have a lot more respect for him because he did try. He really has tried. Now, he, from what I understand, said that, somebody's told me that, he got mad at Angie and said they didn't want to be friends anymore, which, that would be a loss, but he has to know who he's dealing with.
Yeah.
He's got to realize that that might be an arm's length relationship and maybe not as close as what he once thought, because it gets twisted. Stuff, no matter what. It's just, no matter if I go tell Kathy a story and Kathy repeats my story, it's going to change a little bit. Not that Kathy wants to change the story, but it's just her interpretation of what I just told her.
Yeah.
So she might have a little bit of a different interpretation. So when she tells the story to the next person, it's going to have Kathy's interpretation of it.
Yeah. The
And so,
telephone game. Yeah.
right. And so sometimes that stuff gets changed a little bit along the way, but it's still essentially the same thing, but it gets a different perspective on it. And everybody does that. Everybody does that. So, oh, Alana's live. Oh my goodness. Everybody's live. Um, so, that's just my point. I hope that things can go along a little bit better. Uh, as far as, Bounty's just going to have to understand that, I'm sure things can be civil, but there's not going to be warm and fuzzy moments between Angie and a lot of people. It's just not.
No.
And I definitely am not going to be warm and fuzzy over MT because he threatens to kill people. He's just not a nice human being.
Yeah.
And so, that's how that goes.
And Bounty, if you've never seen the deep throating of the bread knife on Instagram, I'm sure somebody has screen recorded that and would be happy to pass that along to you,
Right,
because
right.
that was directed at Alana as a threat.
Well, and what didn't matter because before that, that's what one of the reasons that got his channel taken away from him.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually, we were on speaking terms at that time. We were very cordial, and he dropped that video. And that's one thing. MT gets mad, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. He dropped a video about Alana, and now he's the whole time poking Alana behind the scenes. But yet he drops this big video and he threatened to slice the woman's throat. That's what got his channel taken away. Nothing else. So it was his own words. And when I saw that, I sent him a message. I said, dude, really? I said, I know you were upset, but this is what gets you in trouble. It's gotten him in trouble with so many people in the past because it's the same repetitive behavior. He does not learn from his past mistakes. He's wished death and slicing and nastiness about other people, people that he's friends with, people that, that are close to the people that they care about, that he said these things to. And you can't just come back later and go, oh, I'm sorry, I was mad. That only, takes it so far.
Yeah. Being mad is, you know what? I can't talk to you right now. Uh, that's mad. Making videos about slicing and stabbing and just
That's
your
not normal.
that's psychotic.
Yeah, it's not normal. That's not normal. And,
Not, yeah.
and it's not okay. And so that's, I think, the point that a lot of people are bringing up, that it's just like, you know what? We say this a lot. Nickname and I have said this a lot in behind the scenes, the common denominators. Who are the common denominators in most of the issues?
Hmm.
So you just got to kind of sit back and and ask yourself, who are the common denominators? And they've been the same ones for over a year.
Yes, yes, indeed. Yes, I did. I don't know. It's just and the support they seem to get too. And it can't be that really that. Maybe a handful, but the rest are all shit watchers. They're in it for the popcorn time. It's to watch Angie go off on have a what?
Oh, the hate
Yeah.
watchers are definitely for real. Yeah,
Oh,
that's true.
for sure, for sure. Kate.
Oh, I know, Kate, that's so mean. What she did to Prince. Oh, and see, this is where the woman is a gifted editor. I've said that before. I mean, there's so many things that she could be doing, and yet she chooses to just sit back and toke all day and do whatever. And, you know, she goes, well, I'm disabled. I can't work. I used to do this. I used to do that. There's plenty of things. I mean, nowadays, 90% of the world works from home now.
No, she's too busy swirling around and making music videos and falling off fences and chopping off her finger and you
Right.
know,
And if anybody else has watched some of her photography videos or, where she can skip down the road and do whatever, then I'm sorry. That's what people get upset about is I have a friend, she died recently
mhm.
and she had a heart attack. She's had all kinds of issues. She'd been fighting to get disability for over a year and a half. And the poor woman, I mean, my God. I mean, here, if you want disability, you might as well just go ahead and get a lawyer and get it over with because that's the only way you're going to get it here. They're
Mhm.
so, puckered up tight in the United States about, we work all this time and pay into Social Security and do all this crap. But, after a heart attack, a stroke, being diabetic, you know, sure, I'm sure there's things that my friend could have done to improve her health, but it is what it is. But she worked her entire life. She struggled. She was struggling at the time of her death because you know the state didn't want to give her disability. They
Yeah.
just want to
No,
go, whoops, sorry. So
it's not easy here either. The I doubt if Angie was granted long-term disability. I think she has to go in every 90 days or so and justify herself. Um, because it again, if you look at the qualifications for, I think it's AISH, AISH, Assured Income for Severe Disabilities, I think that's the acronym. Um, you will see, I mean, you can Google it, and she doesn't fit barely any of the qualifications. So I'm pretty sure she's on temporary disability, um, bolstered by social services. So I unless she's found herself an idiot doctor that just signs off on her shit. I don't know, but that's
right,
what
and
I assume.
that happens a lot here in the
Yes,
states too. You just get
yes,
them that they don't want to deal with you and they just sign whatever. And I'm not saying if you need disability and you deserve disability, you should have it. I absolutely agree with that.
hmm,
Nobody should have to, decide, do they want their medication or do they want a roof over their head or do they want food on the table or
right,
clothes on their back? If you need it, you should have it, but you should need it. You
yeah,
should need it. And she
agreed.
clearly doesn't. And I have a beef with that. I really do. You
Yeah,
know?
see where the money is going to. She can squawk about it being prescription, but the stuff that she's not getting on prescription, and she wanders off down to the local cannabis store, she
Right.
is smoking and drinking and eating her rent money, the food
Oh, yeah.
money
Oh,
she should be providing to her son, his clothing, his security. There she
Right,
sits
exactly.
on her fat ass, smoking and now drinking, and I'm using my quote fingers, um, that money that she should be putting aside for her son's education. In
I
Canada,
agree.
we have a really good uh, where the government will start an education, a university fund for you. They will put a shitload of money in for you, free, tax free. This is for your kid, and then you just add to it a little at a time, and then by the time he's ready for college or university, it's there.
Right,
I
right,
bet you dollars to donuts she doesn't even know about it. And all she has to do is walk her fat ass down to Service Canada and sign up. It's as
right,
easy as that. But she
right.
doesn't care about her kid's education. Doesn't care if he's fed or clothed or that he has a good mental experience at school. You can bet your bottom dollar she doesn't care. What she cares about is drinking and smoking online. This is
And well, it,
folks, introducing, making bad song covers and making edgy videos and trying to be.
right, it's that midlife crisis thing again. She's 40. She's not 27. She's not in her 20s. That's just it. She's 40 years old. That ship has sailed, good or bad. I mean, you can't go back and relive those times to where you want to be carefree and don't have anything to do and no responsibilities. We all want to go back and do that, but
Yeah.
we just can't. We just can't. So I just do hope that Bounty sticks by his guns and has kind of seen, the buzz with MT and knows she's not going to like it because, this is all the problems stem usually from him. She wants to take him everywhere she goes. And, you know, he's not a good fit for a lot of communities. And, they basically ram him down your throat, literally. I mean, it's like, come on, and not everybody wants that. And that, he does, he flitters, he goes over to here, he goes over to there, he name drops everybody. And he goes, and he admits that he trolls, he admits it.
Hmm.
When Shani was around, he trolled her and he admitted it that
Well,
he
who
did it.
didn't? I have to
you
admit,
know
I trolled Shani too.
See? And but that's one thing though, I can say that we've all trolled, and we've talked about this behind the scenes, Kathy. I come from other places too, and we had fun. I mean, good Lord, I met some of the best people I've known in my life. I still know them to this day over in a giraffe that was going to have a calf. Good Lord. And we trolled those people relentlessly at April, the giraffe. Like, oh my God. And these women would get so mad. Oh my God, look what they said, and we weren't even being that bad. I mean, come on. It's the fun stuff. That's fun, silly trolling. That goes back for me for years. And we had fun doing it. We weren't malicious. We weren't nasty, that kind of stuff. And but that's the fun side of YouTube. That's the fun part of trolling. That's the fun thing. But when it crosses the line, I never trolled my friends. I
No.
never went in on a strange account and made fun of my friends and trolled my friends. But
No.
that's what they do. And every time they do it, oh, it wasn't me, it was a clone. They take advantage of that clone situation to where, and Candy, I will say, this is one of the things that got Candy and me a little bit closer as friends. She messaged me one day and she goes, Kate, we have a clone. And I was confused. I'm like, huh? And she goes, well, 1 minute it's me and 1 minute it's you. And I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Good Lord. You know? And so I went and looked where one of the places she was talking about. And I'm like, oh, that is so weird. It looks like I'm having a conversation with myself, you know? And so, but every couple weeks it would be Candy one day and then it would go back to Kate. And I'm like, phew, whatever, this is just weird. And so, but now, and that's what started off, like I said earlier, most of the times you could tell the Candy clones, it was very easy. But then they started copying her account exactly. Then they started trying to type like she did. Now, I'm sorry, if you've got that much time, you can go get a job. Give me a break. I mean, if
Amen.
you can do all that, then you need to go get a freaking job. And we all know who was doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Gee, I wonder who. But
Right,
you know what? Speaking of trolls, I think that's why I don't know if nickname's still here. I think that's why I like Tyler so much because he sort of reminds me of what I used to be like. Not on YouTube, but way back in the day in IMDb had message boards, and I was a massive troll. I
right,
wasn't a mean troll. Like
right,
I didn't go in and call anybody names or set them up for something. I just went in there and extended the argument over a movie, the plot line,
right,
or I
right,
would go in there and ruin the ending of a movie, or I would just make shit up,
right,
and, right, So, but that's what I
right.
used to do, and I used to and run away, I don't know why Tyler tickles my funny bone that way because the
Well,
first time I
and, and
saw him interact,
and Tyler has been around a while. Tyler is an acquired taste, I guess is what you would say.
yeah.
Um,
I'm sure I
he
wouldn't enjoy everything he does, but what I have seen, he's had
No,
millions of laughter.
right, and none of us do. And after a while, you're kind of you just kind of got to let Tyler have free reign. You just kind of go, all right, Tyler, enough, no more, and he'll keep going. He will push the buttons till he's been taken out of every live stream I've ever been in. But he's a goof. He really is. He's a goof, and Tyler is just Tyler. And that's another thing that Angie does that bothers me quite a bit. Was she sits there and talks about, well, they make fun of my past dramas or my past traumas. Honey, nobody made fun of any of your traumas, but you have to understand that your traumas are lies. I'm
Yeah,
not saying that not all the stuff that she said is a lie, but it's who knows, because she sold so many lies. It's like the little kid that cried wolf. Once you keep them up, everybody's gonna walk away going, yeah, okay, whatever. And it may not be, and then it might be the truth. But we all know she's like, the past traumas with the gerbil thing.
oh my God.
One night it was Tyler in her live. He was a mod. He still's a mod for her, so she can't get mad at Tyler. And he said something and she saw it. She misunderstood what he said. And so here it all came out. That's again, nobody says anything. Nobody has to make anything up because they tell it all. They
Yeah.
tell everything. So there's nothing to the imagination. There is no making it up. She told the whole story. She even did a video holding up a picture of a child that was, I'm assuming, her. Are you going to tell this child this to her
Oh, I
face that
saw
that didn't happen? I was like, bitch, yeah, I'm going to sit right there and tell you it didn't happen. Because back
that.
in those days, anyways, there was no social media. How would they have even found out that Richard Gere? And I don't know how that poor man got tagged with that
I don't know.
craziness.
I Googled it and I just was like shaking my head.
Right,
Richard
right.
Gere.
And so, but then the story changed. The story was it was done to her. Well, then all of a sudden, when everybody was like, wait, no, sorry, then it was, oh, well, he tried to do it. He tried. I didn't say he did it, but he tried. No, 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 no. Back the bus up. No, we're not going over that because you
Yeah.
can't backpedal it out now. So
Yeah.
that's just it. For her post traumatic dramas, most of them, it's fictional to get that. Poor me. And I'm sorry if that sounds like I'm being evil, that I'm being a bitch, whatever. I've had my fill of her. If I never heard her name again on the planet, I would be a thrilled person. Honestly, I would. And I'm not that way. People will tell you. If you get Kate in your corner, you're good. You're golden. Because Kate will stand up for you tooth and nail. But I'm not going to stand up for people that are liars and cheats and will do whatever. I'm not. I'm not putting my backing behind that. So,
Yeah. Yeah. The Candy says it right there. Yeah. We're all strong women in Discord. We don't fight or hold grudges. They
Yep.
do, and they blame us.
Yep. That's true.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. So I'm just feel really sorry for you guys that you don't have a Discord experience like we do. So I just
Me
feel really
too.
sorry that it's just a mess and it's full of lies. And what I've heard about MT modding in a Discord is just he just runs terror in there. Changes their names, kicks them out.
And that's all too familiar. I've been
Yeah,
there and done that. So
there
it
you
is
go.
what it is.
So,
And and I will say there, you know, Candy before Red left, they were starting to work on their relationship a little bit more. MT had something bad happen in his family, and we were all there for him. Even Candy broke her own silence to Red for the greater good. She reached out to Red to help MT. We even added MT to the Discord so we could all get on voice chat and talk and help MT with the grief that he was feeling. So Candy reached out to someone that who she in her eyes was someone that didn't have her best interest at heart at the time, to put aside the differences for someone else.
mhm.
So that's what she did. And he didn't appreciate it. He did not appreciate it. Just a little while later, because that's one thing. MT has all these female friends, but he can't spread himself around, if that makes sense. He can't be friends with several people at the same time. So, if he was friends with Candy, he couldn't be friends with Angie because Angie took up all his time. Candy never
They
demands
get
from
jealous.
people. She doesn't say shit. She just is like, oh, hey, if you happen to see this, because like I said, hell, I miss 90% of the stuff that goes on because I'm sorry, I have to go to bed early. I'm just a bitch on wheels if I don't get my sleep. You can drag my husband in here and ask him, okay, oh God, no, let her sleep, please, because he knows.
Nothing. And
Yes.
Rochelle, hi.
Oh, hey, Roro,
Yeah.
hi, honey. Um, so he just his own worst enemy.
Oh,
And
absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? After he gathers his harem, he gets bored.
oh yes, because he has to have the drama. He has to.
Yeah. Yeah. Why? When we used to, when Lynn was hosting him, and, she'd have a panel of people. And if, oh, God forbid, if the subject changed and they
Oh
started
yeah, he
talking about something, you know, that interested them, he'd either leave or redirect the conversation back to you or
to the
me,
drama.
or
Yep.
yeah. So
Yep. Every time. Every
every time,
time.
yeah. He has nothing in
So
common with you old bitches. Get
what?
a clue.
Well, I remember not too long ago, I was lurking over at Annie's just to kind of see what all was going on and whatever. Oh my God. I mean, I get it, menopause sucks, whatever. But I have not seen so many women in there griping about aches and pains and this and that. And who was right in the middle of the thick of it all? He
MT.
was. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, why are you here? I said, is it vagina envy? Maybe that's what it is. Because he was just over there. I mean, I was like, dude, I could just imagine him in his little beanie hat with his little Carter overalls on a stool going, oh, tell me more. Tell me more. And I was like, dude, why are you even interested in this topic? I would have ran away. My husband was sitting there and he goes, I think I'll go in the other room. It's like, I don't want to hear this crap. So, it's bad enough when I have to sit and
He
talk
was
with him.
taking notes. He was taking notes.
Yeah, he's like, okay, I guess so. But it's like, for why? I mean, I just don't understand. And so again, I just, and I'm not trying to trash the kid. I'm really not, but God love him. He really just needs to grow up, go do something, get outside
Get a
and
job and support your kids.
Mhm.
Yay!
Well, that would be excellent advice, but um he doesn't want to do that.
No,
So, I mean,
no.
it
He
is
just
what it
wants to
is.
make sure his poor dog has 4 batches of puppies a year so it dies before its time. Just the regular guy stuff. Yeah,
Well, and
exactly, Kate.
it's well, yeah, that's actually true, Kate. So, I mean, but again, I'm going to pay for my opinions, I'm sure. It is what
Oh,
it
me
is.
too. Me too.
And but
But
again,
like
I
I
just sit
said, don't care.
down either. I sit back and
But
it's
what he
comical.
doesn't understand is I truly do not care about his opinion of me. You
No,
can control me all you want. You can tell everybody and whisper. I don't care. You are
well, exactly.
you were never my friend to hurt my feelings over this. Not like
Right.
Candy, not like the rest of the girls. I was never your friend. So your bad opinion of me, I don't fucking care.
Right.
Run your
Oh,
mouth. I don't care. Go for it. Have fun.
right. Because, yeah, for you to hurt my feelings, I have to value your opinion first.
Exactly. Exactly. So off you go, little chihuahua, nipping at new ankles.
Well, and that's just it. And again, that's why I don't understand why a lot of people tolerate him. He goes to here and starts the stuff, and he goes over there and starts the stuff, and now he's drawn attention to himself, and he's gotten busted doing it. So Angie better off to just be like, you know what, MT, stop. But she won't. She won't. Nobody wants to correct the guy, and I don't understand that either. Bounty, and it's funny too because MT won't go up against the men over there. He will bow down and go, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, sir, no, sir.
He's on the
And
knees,
hang on.
on his knees. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? Hello, Kate. Kate. Oh, hang on.
Oh, my husband has the giggles and he's going out to grab something to eat.
Oh, okay. You
And
muted yourself. Okay, I thought you kicked
yes,
yourself
I
from
did. Yeah, I did. I didn't kick myself off, amazingly enough. Um, no, I'm cooking chicken and dumplings, and he's
Oh,
I'm
fish
hungry now.
burger.
And trust me, it's the easiest thing for me because I'm not feeling all that great still, and I'm like not and sleeping with a bad knee. Poor Alana, I can relate to her. I've got stenosis, spondylosis, pinched nerves, the whole deal, and it's very difficult to get comfortable at night and find that way, and especially when you have a husband and 3 cats. And you would think a king size bed is big enough for all of us, but it just honestly is not. So, and the cats get mad at me because mommy is a flopper. Daddy calls me the floppity fish because
Your
I
property
can't
fish.
lay. Yes, I can't lay in one spot for very long. So everybody gets comfortable, and then nope, I gotta move. So the cats just get up and look at me, and they give me a dirty look. They're like, "Fine, we'll go over and lay on Dad for a while." They go over and lay on Daddy, and then Daddy moves. And they come back over to me, so it's just like a revolving thing. Everybody gets all mad. And if I get up to go to the bathroom, I got to have a cat go with me. There's stalker cat watching you pee. I mean, that's just my life.
Mm,
So, I didn't get much good sleep last night. So today I'm like, what can I fix that I can just throw it in the crock pot and not worry about it? If I take some edibles here in a little bit, I'm still in my jammies. I mean, oh my
Hey,
God.
no, I have done the all day jammy thing myself at times, really. But the chicken water you're making sounds so good. The chicken leg water, I should say. I can't get
Wow,
over
bless her
that.
heart. That was so cute. Oh my goodness. We were all at a standstill with that one. God love her. So, Yeah, mine's actually made with real chicken and everything. So,
It sounds so good. Vegan muffin? Probably not because I am afraid of going outside with all those unvaccinated peons, and so I'll probably just do gift cards. So there won't be any haul.
oh, you got to show us some good stuff.
Oh no, maybe I'll do a Christmas cookie thing, but no, I don't. I've had two family members impacted with COVID, and I have another family member that is compromised. So
Okay.
yeah, so
I'm
it's just
sorry.
last. Well, shit happens, we're all of that
Well,
age. Shit happens. So
oh,
I
I know, but it
am
doesn't
not
make it any
out.
easier.
Yeah, I don't go out unless it's absolutely necessary. So Christmas is a wash this year, just because it just is. So I'll do some cookies maybe. Who knows? I'll figure it out. Oh, she muted herself again. Ah.
I did because I wanted to. The TV was going,
Oh,
so I was trying to drown out. You didn't want to hear NFL Monday Night Football or Sunday
it's
Football or
Funday
whatever.
Sunday.
Me, I'd
Oh,
much rather just play video games.
yeah. Actually, what games do you play?
Um, my husband, the bad boy that he is, just and I love it. And guys, bless your heart, they are pistols. He told me, he goes, "Well, I wanted to get an early Christmas gift," and I'm like, "Ah, this ought to be good." And I said, "What did you do?" And he goes, "Well, we talked about an arcade game." I'm like, "You
Huh?
did not buy an arcade game." And I said, "What
Oh.
kind of arcade game first are you talking here?" And he goes, "Well, it's got all these really cool games." I'm like, "Oh, dear Lord, no, you did not." And of course, it just came the other day, and you got to put it together. I'm like, "Oh, you're kidding me." And me and instructions, and it's funny too because in a relationship, I was always the very patient one at first,
Mhm.
and guys, they don't like to look at directions, and he's definitely that way. We'll just figure it out. And so having to put together furniture from in the past, I know better. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
oh no. I said, let me go take a couple hits first before we try this. And but I was just amazed. I mean, he's got it all unpacked. I mean, they want you to put together an arcade game. And we did it. I mean, it took a couple hours and we finally got it together and all was good, but it's I don't know. It's an Atari game, and it's got like asteroids and Tempest and Missile Command and all this other stuff on it.
I love those.
It is fun. I mean, we used to play those when like Miss
Uh-huh.
Pac-Man and all the other stuff
Yeah.
when we were younger, and it was a blast. I mean, literally, one of my brothers worked in a pool hall for years and years and years. That was like his weekend job to do stuff. And why my parents decided to let him work in a pool hall, I'll never know. But yeah, he worked in a pool hall on the weekends, and they had the video games, and he got so good at asteroids that he could just sit there and play. He'd finally get bored with it, and some kid would walk up and he goes, "Here you go, kid, sit down." And he'd just give whatever he had lives he had left to some kid.
And his points.
And but so yeah, we used to just have a ball. We'd go hang out with him, on the weekends and stuff. And I'm sure we probably weren't supposed to be there, because they served alcohol and that kind of stuff, and we weren't of age by any means. So we just went there anyways. But yeah, we had a ball with that. So that's what his idea. He goes, "Well, that's going to keep us busy over the winter and give us something to do." I said, "I would have much rather just gone on vacation, but that's okay." So, and now we just got to make sure, and he's being stubborn with me because it has to be anchored to the wall, because it can be dangerous if one of those games are heavy. I mean, this machine is huge, And I said, honey, it has to be anchored to the wall. And so he's kind of given me grief about that. And I said, no, we have to be safe and it has to be anchored to the wall. That's just life. That's what you have to do. So I think he went to Lowe's and is going to do all that stuff and get all that done.
Okay. Yeah, I know Christmas is coming and I'm not even remotely ready. I don't care.
The last I knew, it
Do
was the 4th of July.
it.
You
Yes,
know,
exactly.
I
I
looked
was
around and
at
went,
the lake with the RV, and my toes were in the lake water, and I was smoking a doobie on the dock.
oh, I know. Because see, I'm a fisherman. I was raised as a huge tomboy, and um, it was very cute. I'll tell on myself. Uh, my first date with my husband, he said, well, I take it back. Our first date, we actually met on a blind date, and I'd been divorced, and my girlfriend's like, you can't just sit in your apartment. You have to come out. I'm like, nah, whatever. I don't care. And she's like, come on, I got a nice little guy. You can meet him. I'm like, no, God, no, not a blind date. Dear God. And, I was 20 some years old. And I said, okay, fine. I'll go on your dumb blind date. And boy, as we walked into that restaurant, I looked at her and I said, well, I don't know, but I hope I get the blonde one. And she goes, well, that's him. I'm like, far out. Yeah. And she told me, she goes, he's really shy. And I'm like, okay. That guy wasn't shy. He talked my ear off, you know? And she goes, he must really like you because if he talked like that, I'm like, well, that's cool. So, but then our first actual date, I met him at his mom and dad's, and he goes, his mom says, where are you going? And he goes, we're going fishing. And I thought, oh, great. He's telling his mom a lie already. Good Lord. And because I figured, we were going to go do something else. And nope, the man took me fishing. Took me fishing. Fishing for catfish at night in a
Oh, I love
pond.
catfish. Yum.
Well, we
We can
had
do
an
that more
absolute
often.
blast. And I had never really fished for catfish at night before. And so we stop at the store. He's buying livers for bait. And I'm like, oh, yum, livers. And he goes, gross. I'm like, oh, no, there's not like a decent chicken liver. What's wrong with you? And so it was very cute, though. We did. Um, he had the big treble hooks, and you put a big old piece of fat liver on there, and you kind of put a little bit of string on it, and you throw it out there. And sure enough, I caught a 5-pound catfish that night, and he gave me a bunch of bologna. I landed this fish myself. He was very impressed with me because we had other lines in the water as well. And he passed me a worm, and he thought I was going to be all squeamish and go, "Oh God, a worm!" I have really long nails. People that know me know I've got dagger claw nails. I took my fingernail, whacked that worm in half, and he looked at me, and I baited my hook, and I said, "Cool." And he looked at me, and he goes, "Wow, really?" I'm like, "What?" And he goes, you just cut a worm in half with your nail. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to waste a whole worm. And he goes, you're not squeamish about worms? I said, nah, the only thing I really don't like to use as bait as is grubs because they remind me of maggots. So that freaks me out. But no, anything else, yeah, I'm good. Minnows. And, I have to understand, I've lived in Florida at one point. You go off the end of a pier and throw water and stuff in the water there. God knows what you're going to catch there.
Yeah.
So, good Lord, no. So, I'm used to sticking minnows, a hook through a minnow's head and stuff. Man, it doesn't bother me a bit. And he would not carry my fish out for me, though. He gave me the big spiel. Well, honey, we have to put that fish back. So it's going to, have baby fish and everything else. We need to let that stay in the pond.
Did
And
you
we
take
got
it
home, and he told his mom, he said, yeah, she caught a fish. I said, yeah, I caught a huge fish. She's like, where is it? I said, well, he made me put it back. She goes, oh, you didn't let her keep her fish.
He was.
Everybody was like,
Was that your first?
oh,
Was that your first and only date?
no, that was our first date. Yes, he took me fishing. So it was love after that. And yep. 33 years later.
Oh, 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 okay, okay.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
Kate, looks like we're losing our viewers here, so everybody's went off to Alana's and
Oh, okay. Well,
we should
yes,
wrap
we
it up.
need to. I know, because I need to take my rear end and get upstairs and actually put some sweatpants on at least.
Oh,
Goodness
just keep
gracious.
your jammies on. You've got nowhere to go today.
I know. Well,
uh,
yeah, but again, I'm so sorry that you've gone through that.
oh, it's the sign of the times. That's all. I just yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're
Uh,
always around if you need us. Okay.
yeah. Thanks. Thanks a lot. And the one with COVID is recovering, so it's a good thing. But I will
Well,
see you guys over in Alana's after I go.
yes, yes,
So,
yes. Yes,
so
I'll
all
be
right.
around as much as I
Yeah,
flapped my mouth. So everybody take care. Good to see everybody again. I'm sorry if I trashed anybody, if I made anybody offended by, some of my comments, but it just
I'm
comes from the
not.
heart and it's what I think. So
Okay, Kate. Thank you.
take care, everybody.
Bye.